Hey y'all, I'm at I-78. I am back, y'all. I had to come on and make sure we was on time so we can get this in so that we can be ready for the live stream of the town hall that is going to take place in DC this evening. Should be in about an hour and a half, somewhere around that time frame. Again, welcome back. We are going to get started in just a second. Y'all, I was just in here watching Dr. Umar. For those of y'all who know, you know. And he was talking about D.L. Hughley's response to his invitation to debate. And DL called himself trying to be cute, talking about some I'll come on one condition, that we have it at your school. He was like, well, yeah, come on, because the gymnasium is fully renovated. I'm ready to rock. Ready to rock. So we're gonna see if the rest of the crew, we got DL, it went out to Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, and he was like, you know, if you feel like you need him, bring Roland Martin with you. So we're gonna see if anybody else accepted the invitation. Because child, when I say y'all would pay money to see that, I ain't even gonna sit here and hold y'all. I will pay all kinds of money and live stream that for everybody to see. Let me get this link together. I promised the link to Derek. Let me make sure we good on that. Okay. We are good. All right. So that's gone out. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this party started. This is not super long. It's only about 40 minutes or so, but we want to make sure that we get it in and have time for commentary if there's going to be any. So we're going to start with Trump coming out on statement. Let's go.
We love our country. We love our country, don't we? It's amazing. And it's a great country, but we have to take it back because our country's not feeling so well nowadays, and we're going to bring it back, and we're going to make it healthy and beautiful and better than ever. And it's really, this is some crowd, and you can duplicate the crowd outside. So if anybody would like to give up your seat, that would be okay. No? Let's have a good time. Thank you very much, everybody.
That song gets me fired up every time.
So Lee Greenwood is so great. Great guy, too.
Well, thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
This is a very special evening for us all to have a conversation about some of the real issues that are facing Americans across the country and that don't get talked about often enough. And I want to start with one that's very personal to me, hard to talk about sometimes. This is only the second time I've spoken about it publicly, but my husband and I were married almost 10 years ago. We wanted to start a family. We were very excited about it. Unfortunately, it was very difficult. We were not successful in trying to get pregnant. For us, IVF seemed to be the only option and the last resort. As you know, it's a pretty difficult process. It's very, very expensive. I was in Congress at the time, traveling. I would carry the medicine that I had to administer shots to myself sometimes in an airport bathroom. And ultimately, the most difficult part was every time going to the doctor for another transfer and hoping that it would result in a positive pregnancy test, and then being heartbroken over and over every time that test came back negative. Now, I know some of your opponents, your political opponents, are saying that you want to ban IVF. While it didn't work for us, it's worked for a lot of families. And I just know that there are women and couples in this crowd, or those who are watching here tonight, who may be going through this same struggle and are concerned about being able to have this option, either because they might not be able to afford it, or they're concerned that it just may not be available. And I'd love for you to talk to them about how they should feel.
Well, thank you very much, Tulsi. And I didn't know about your situation. And it's tough stuff, right? Tough. Life is pretty tough. It can be beautiful, but it can be difficult. We are doing something with IVF because IVF, as you know, from friends, people you know, it's really worked out very well for a lot of people. It gave them a child when they would not have had a child. And I told my people I wanted to look at this a couple of weeks ago. And as you know, we have no taxes on a thing called tips. You know that? And I said, tell me, we did three things. We did that, and we did no tax for seniors on Social Security benefits. We want to have that. And I've been seeing a lot of IVF, and I kept hearing that I'm against it, and I'm actually very much for it. In fact, in Alabama, where the judge ruled against it, and I countered the judge and came out with a very strong statement for it. And the Alabama...
You were very quick in your response to that.
I was, but they were too. They were amazing. The legislature approved virtually my statement. I mean, full IVF, and it has really gone. It's terrific. And I said, so with the tips and with the Social Security, the no taxes on Social Security, I said maybe for IVF, and I've been looking at it. And what we're going to do
how you doing?
is for people that are using IVF, which is fertilization, we are the government is going to pay for it, or we're going to get or mandate your insurance company to pay for it, which is going to be great. We're going to do that.
I can't tell you how life-changing that would be for so many families, because it costs a lot of money. A lot of people go into debt just for the hope of being able to start their own family.
Well, it's big. And you know what? We want to produce babies in this country, right? We want to produce babies. So I think it's going to be something we sort of announced it a little bit. We were in a great place, Michigan. We all love Michigan.
I'm good.
Right? We're going to bring back the car industry, and we're going to get a lot of it back to Michigan. They've been taking our cars away. They've been taking our manufacturing away over years, over decades. And if you look at it today, it's a shell of what it was years ago, but we're going to bring it back. Mexico is right now building massive car factories, actually being financed and built by China. And they think they're going to sell their cars back into our country. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Oh, listen to that. That is not going to happen. But so many things have gone wrong in the car industry. The union leadership has been horrible. I think I'm going to win by 85%, the union, but because we're bringing it back. And we're going to have electric cars, but we're going to have gasoline-powered cars, and we're going to have hybrids. We're going to have every kind of car. We're not going with just that. But I just felt that it would be a good place to announce it. And we did sort of the announcement there a little bit. And now we do the big announcement tonight in front of all of these television stations, all of the fake news, the fake, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. I don't know what's going on. We don't even know, I was saying, because we're doing this. And I finished and I figured I was going to come here and we're going to make a speech. I had a speech all set for you. I was ready. They said, sir, you're actually doing a town hall. I said, oh, nobody told me that. I said, who's doing it? They said, Tulsi. I said, well, that's at least good news. I've been a fan of hers for a long time, I have to tell you. So I didn't even know. I'm in the plane, and I'm looking over some material, and we're going to give you a hell of a speech tonight. We were set to give you one hell of a speech. They said, no, sir, it's a town hall. I said, why doesn't somebody tell me this stuff? And I don't even have any idea who we're doing it for. I don't know. Is it for a network or what? I see a lot of television all over the place, so maybe it's on all of them. But I did get to see the strangest thing today. I looked at the news conference of Kamala. I call her Comrade.
Hi, Danny.
Comrade Kamala. She's you know that. She's a Marxist. Her father was a Marxist before her. So she was brought up in the family tradition. And she really is, and this country is not ready for a Marxist. We don't want a Marxist as a president. And she destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California. And we're not going to let it destroy our country. I'll tell you, it's not going to happen. So, but just to finish, so for some reason, she doesn't want to talk to anybody. So she's either not the smartest light in the ceiling. I'm trying to be nice here. I want to be. They say, be nice, sir, be nice. It's hard to be nice when somebody is destroying your country and wants to destroy your country. It's hard to be like nice. But she is, she was a terrible vice president. She was a terrible border czar, worst in history, probably, not just in this country. But the border, millions and millions of people, I say 20 million plus, have poured through the border during their term. I have the safest border in the history of our country. They have the most unsafe border in the history of the world. And they're coming through, and many of them are from prisons and jails. There's a slight difference, as you know, prisons and jails. Many are from mental institutions and insane asylums, and many are terrorists, and they're pouring into our country at a level. I don't know if you saw the news today, Tulsi. They had a group of, a lot of them, Venezuelan people with lots of machine guns taking over a building someplace. I'm looking, I'm saying, where is that? They went in and they took over a building. This is just the beginning. They're taking their criminals
That's in Colorado.
from all over the world, not just South America, not just Venezuela, which you've been reading about, all over the world. They're taking their criminals and they're dumping them into the United States. Kamala is allowing it to happen. And they actually want to give them papers. They want to make them citizens, and they want to give them your Social Security. They want to give them your Medicare, and your Social Security will collapse under her. I'm the one that's going to protect the Social Security. But they're coming. I will totally protect, as I did for 4 years. And there was no age increase. There was no anything. We're going to protect. They destroy you with inflation, and then they want to destroy your Social Security. It's not going to happen. But this is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. So I just want to say that it's an honor to be with you tonight. It's a forum that's very different because I have no idea who the hell is broadcasting it. But all we'll do is we'll talk because we're friends. I love this state. I gave them Marinette. We gave them a very big, Tulsi, we have a ship contract. And as you know, we gave Marinette yards, but we gave them a tremendous contract. They wanted it all over the country. I said, we're going to get it for Wisconsin, and it's a big one. And they're doing a great job, I understand. So we got that. And we're going to have a good time tonight. So let's go.
Mr. President, you talked about immigration. We actually have Amber here who's quite concerned about that, and she's got a question for you.
Mr. President, hello. My name is Amber, and I'm from Cameron, Wisconsin. I have 3 beautiful children, and I'm torn on who to support. My youngest daughter is here tonight. My oldest son is 18, and he just started trade school this week. Very proud of him. My concern is that illegal immigration is threatening opportunities for my children. I worry that it's taking away jobs from Americans. I'm wondering, what will you do about that?
All right, well, it's great. I think I'll stand up and, do you mind if I turn around? Thank you, Amber, very much. And you're right. I'll tell you, we have the people that I'm talking about. They're pouring in at levels never seen before. They're coming in by millions and millions, and a lot of them are taking the jobs for the Black population, the Hispanic population, and unions are going to be very badly affected because, and I was talking to some of the union heads who I actually do get along with, but they're very concerned about it because the jobs that are, the people that are coming in are just taken, and it's going to start with the Black population. African Americans are losing their jobs, and I don't know if you heard the latest statistic.
Hang on
the
1
jobs that
second,
these
y'all.
people created.
Before we get into that, that's fine. He has said this on numerous occasions, and for some reason, this angers the Black community. But I'm a Black person, and I'm gonna be real honest. Like most of the jobs that Black people had, especially if you're looking from a historical aspect, Black women were teachers, nurses assistant, CNAs, when we, managers and retail and fast food. That's historically, or did some kind of domestic work. Historically, that is what we have as Black women have done. Now, Black men, it's usually post office, landscaping, construction, or some type of janitorial work. That's historically what Black men, have done. If you look at all of those that I just named now, the only one that hasn't really been completely taken over, well, the only two I would say rather, is CNA, but they working on it, and the post office. Like, let's be real. Let's not get on here and act like all Black people are CEOs and entrepreneurs and all this different kind of stuff. Most Black people are they blue collar folks. And if you look around, again, areas that we used to dominate, we don't dominate anymore. It's not like we don't dominate those areas and now we dominating in the white collar sector. That's not true either. So he right what he's saying. They coming over here and they taking our jobs. I don't really care how y'all feel about it. That's what it is. So quit being upset and damn vote your interest. But let's get back to what he's saying. I'm just saying, Danny, you know for yourself, you hey Skinny, you probably you're saying around my age group, you maybe your daddy, your granddaddy, you know what I'm saying, your granddaddy friends, like for real. They was landscaping, they was doing construction, or they was the damn janitor at the high school. Let's cut the foolishness. That's what was going on. When we was, teenagers and we went, get our little first job or whatnot at McDonald's or Burger King or Taco Bell or wherever it was, at Hardee's or wherever it was in your area, your manager was a Black woman. Let's stop playing. We dominated those jobs. We don't anymore. Okay, you've been okay since you was 17. This is what I'm saying. So we need to quit playing like we don't know what the hell Black jobs are, and quit, trying to, use them damn facts as a reason to be mad at Trump instead of being mad at what's really going on. That's all I'm saying. But let us get back to what he talking about. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
Which is very little. Every single job was taken, about 107% was taken by illegal immigrants. There's been no job creation from them. The jobs were filled by illegal immigrants. With all of that being said, I want to give you a very positive answer. We're going to win this election. We're going to turn this country around. We're going to become an unbelievable growth country. And your boy is going to have the greatest job. And you want to have a lot of choice with jobs. You want
yes,
to
of course. Yeah, they definitely taking up the housing.
It's hard to believe I have that the way I get treated, but I look forward to every day because we're going to make America great again. So I really do. I look forward to it.
That's right.
But we're going to create a lot of jobs. We're going to create. Does he want to stay here? Or does he want to go to a different state or anything? Yeah, someplace in the Midwest. But this is a good place to stay, right? Wisconsin. So we'll be creating tremendous jobs for our country. And we're also turning away. You know, we're going to be closing the border, really closing it. By the way, did you see?
They said we're going for real close it.
So Kamala was for defunding the police. She was for open borders. She was for everything that you're not against. I could go through 14 different. She's changed in every single one of them. In fact, I think we should see the man in the red hat and the beautiful woman in the red hat says, "Make America Great Again." Perhaps we should give Kamala a "Make America Great Again" hat, right? But the problem is, that's not her belief. Her belief is open borders. Her belief is getting rid of Social Security. Her belief is doing all of these plans like for health insurance, where you have one big government-run mess. And if you have private plans, a lot of the people in this room have private plans. They're incredible plans. They worked hard to get those plans, and that's what they want. But with her, she wants to have, it's really a communist type of government. And I just saw her, Tulsi, she was sitting behind a desk doing this interview. And I said, Dana Bash, you could make yourself big tonight. All you have to do is be fair. I haven't seen the questions, but they gave out a sample. In fact, she's going to be on later on tonight with a taped. It was a tape. We're doing it live. Why are we doing it live and she's doing it taped? But
That's right. He's real.
But she was sitting behind that desk, this massive desk, and she didn't look like a leader to me, I'll be honest. I don't see her negotiating with President Xi of China. I don't see her with Kim Jong-un like we did with Kim Jong-un. So we're going to have to see what happens. I'll tell you what, November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of this country.
He's speaking facts because first of all, most leaders of other countries, they don't deal with women. So if she was to become president, how the hell is she gonna get anything done when they're not even gonna talk to her? How that work?
She gonna bully him.
She gonna what?
She gonna try to bully him. Because the United States hold a lot of military contracts and everything. First, she gonna try to cut their trade, and then maybe any future military access. See what they got going on in Africa. That's where they get all the money from.
She can't run that on China and North Korea though. We need too much of their stuff. She can't run that on them.
She'll try.
Yeah,
but that
looking crazy.
That tampon tie, that was classic. That was a classic line. I loved it. I'm still cracking up over it. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? That's something I would say.
Sir.
What? Oh, come on.
It'd be funny though. It'd be funny, but you be doing a lot, sir.
You have no idea what I've been drinking today.
Oh Lord! All right, well, hold on, because we got to get through this. Hold on.
All right.
Cause you stay drinking.
I stay drinking. I drink the good stuff. I don't drink bottom shelf. I treat myself every now.
Want to feel hopeful about our future. I want to introduce you to Luke, who is one of those people.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. President.
Good-looking guy.
Thank you. My name is Luke Pulaski, and I'm a junior here at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. I'll be voting for the first time in November, and I'm researching each candidate, and I have two questions for you. First, as I've been living on my own and buying my own gas and groceries, I have noticed that everything has become more expensive. For me personally, I try to eat healthy and stay lean. A pound of meat has gone from $4 to almost $7. I also would like to buy a home someday, but that seems just impossible now. What's your plan to make life more affordable and bring down inflation for someone like me?
Very good. Thank you. Good. It's probably the question I get most. You know, they say you're going to vote with your stomach. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's a little bit true. And groceries, food has gone up at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We've never seen anything like it, 50, 60, 70%. You take a look at bacon and some of these products, and some people don't eat
I
bacon
love me some
anymore.
good bacon, child.
And we are going to get the energy prices
Cause
down.
I'm bougie, I like thick cut. Thick cut about $12 right now.
By their horrible energy wind, they want wind all over the place.
I'm used to it being about
But when
8.
it doesn't blow, we have a little problem. This was caused by energy. This was really caused by energy and also their unbelievable spending. They're spending us out of wealth, actually. They're taking our wealth away. But it was caused by energy. And what they've done is they started cutting way back. We were in third place. When I left, we were by far in first place, beating Russia, beating Saudi Arabia. And we were going to dominate to a level that we've never seen before. And then we had a bad election. I'll be very nice. I'm supposed to be nice when I talk about the election, because everybody's afraid to talk about, oh, please, sir, don't talk about the election, please. You know, if you can't talk about a bad election, you really don't have a democracy if you think about it, right?
Thanks.
But what they did, Tulsi, is they took back the oil production. The oil started going crazy. That started the inflation. Then they went back. They said, go back to where Trump was. The problem is that we would have been 3 times that level right now. We would have been so dominant over Russia and Saudi Arabia. Look, Saudi Arabia, Russia, a lot of oil. We would have had more. You know, we had something in Alaska, Anwar, that I created. I mean, Ronald Reagan wanted it. You remember? Ronald Reagan wanted it. They all wanted it. And I got it approved. Nobody was able to get it approved. I got it approved. And the first week in office, they turned it back. They said, no, it's the biggest site possibly in the world. Could be bigger than Saudi Arabia. Well, we're going to start that up. We're going to become the energy capital of the world. We're going to pay down our debt, and we're going to reduce your taxes still further. And your groceries are going to come tumbling down, and your interest rates are going to be tumbling down. And then you're going to go out, you're going to buy a beautiful house, okay? You're going to buy a beautiful house. That's called the American dream. The American dream. Thank you.
Mr. President, I want to ask you a question about national security, but first I think it's important to point out what Luke is talking about, the cost of groceries, the cost of gas, the cost of housing, mortgages, rent, everything has gone up. Kamala Harris's plan that she has announced is government price controls. And I think it's important to touch on, you just laid out your plan. What's going to happen if Kamala Harris institutes price controls?
So that's a communist plan. It's never worked. And it's been tried by others. Believe it or not, Richard Nixon tried it. A lot of people tried it. It's been tried many times, and it always leads to the same failure. Tremendous inflation, lack of product. You don't have anything. The stores are not stocked. It has never worked. It's called control. They want control. And, you know, it's been so often. And everybody that comes in, they say it. It sort of sounds great. We're going to go price control. Actually, when she announced it, she got absolutely slaughtered by even Democrats because it doesn't work. It's a known loser. So now she doesn't talk about it. Do you notice she doesn't talk about climate change anymore? She's not talking about it. You know why? Because people don't want to hear it. They want to live a good life. They want to live a life. They don't want to stop your industry with climate change. They used to call it different things, global warming. Remember, that wasn't working because it was getting a little bit cooler. So they said, what are we going to do? We'll call it global cooling. No. So they came up with the words climate change because that takes care of everything. Climate change. The climate's changing, but according to them, we're all going to be gone in about, what do we have, 3 years left? They had 12 years, remember? So in about 3 years, let me tell you, we do have a problem, though. It's climate change, but a different kind of climate change. It's called nuclear global warming. We can say that's global warming. And if we don't have a smart president, you know, you have 5 nations now with pretty massive nuclear power. Some have very massive, including us and Russia. China's behind, way behind, but within 4 or 5 years, they'll catch up. And we don't want them to catch up. Look, the biggest problem, in my opinion, the biggest problem our country has, the biggest problem the world has, is nuclear weapons. They are a destructive force, the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. and we have to make sure they're never used. We have to make sure it's not going to happen.
You're exactly right. You brought up Ronald Reagan already. Ronald Reagan famously said, "A nuclear war can never be won and should never be fought." And I think it's interesting you talked about climate change, Mr. President. The Democrats and Kamala Harris, they were quick to talk about how climate change is an existential threat. But what they're not talking about is the existential threat of nuclear war and World War III, which is exactly where we sit today because of the warmongers and their puppets, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And they don't want to talk about it because the consequence of where they have taken all of us as the American people and the world is economic hardship around the world, a destruction of our economic well-being, and an annihilation of humanity, our families, our kids, our communities around the world. There's a recent poll that YouGov did that pointed out over 60% of Americans feel that World War III and nuclear war is going to happen within 5 to 10 years. And when I heard that, I felt so sad because they're at a point where they feel like this outcome, the annihilation of the world, is inevitable. So I wanted to ask you about this because it's important that people understand what kind of leadership you bring, what you will do to stop this slide towards nuclear war and World War III so that we can feel hopeful again.
Well, thank you. So Viktor Orban, a very strong leader from Hungary, Prime Minister of Hungary, they asked him recently about what's the problem in the world. A few years ago, during my term, we had we didn't have Israel being attacked. We didn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. And they asked him, why is it so bad now? The Middle East is on fire. So many places are on fire, and there are plenty places that could very well and very quickly catch on. What's the problem? He said, you have to bring Trump back as president of the United States. You will have no problem. He single-handedly kept things, and it's true. And I could do it with telephone calls by being smart. But literally, he said, you have to bring Trump back. Now, he used a term I wouldn't use. He said everybody was afraid of Trump. You know who was afraid of Trump? They said China was afraid of Trump. Russia was afraid of Trump. They were all, and I don't want to say that. I will say this. They respected me and they respected our nation. They don't respect our nation anymore. They don't respect our nation anymore. Think of it. What would the world be like if Russia didn't do what they did, and they would have never done it? I used to speak to Putin about it. I had a very good relationship. No chance. You know what happened, I think, Afghanistan, when he saw the horrible leadership that we displayed in Afghanistan, I think he said, wow, this is a time to go in, because I wasn't there. He would have never done it if I was president, and Israel would have never been attacked. Think of it. What would this world be like? You wouldn't have had that disaster. And it wasn't leaving Afghanistan. And they should have kept Bagram. That's the big air base. It's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. They didn't keep it. You know who occupies it now, Tulsi? China occupies it. So we have, if you have the right president, and we don't right now, do we even have a president? He just came in. Think of it. He just came in from wherever the hell he went. You know, there was a coup. He just doesn't know it yet. But there was a coup. How about that? He got 14. I'm not a fan of his. He was the worst president. But,
You're not?
But think of this. He got 14 million votes. She was the first one to leave, you know. Kamala was the first one to quit. She never made it to the first state in the primaries, which was Iowa. Never even came close. Other people did, but she never even came close. And all of a sudden, she was picked. And she's now running for president. And look, it just started, really. It just really started. The polls have us up here. We're up in this. We're up in states, but
thank you,
close.
Omega Sun's Light. I appreciate the super sticker.
It's close.
Hey, Jay Laurent, what's going on?
It's close, and you know they cheat like hell, so we don't want to have it too close. But we have to win this. We're not going to have a country. But with him, I was so far up. We had a thing called, how did he do in the debate? Did you think he did well? Not too good? No, they wanted to have a debate. I said, okay, it's a little bit early, isn't it? I was trying to talk them out. I said, well, it's a little early for a debate, right? And they said, well, I think we'd like to do it. And that was not a good debate for them. That was not a good debate. So that was the beginning of the end for him. And
it was. I think they were trying to have that debate all early like that to see if they could catch him in some inconsistencies and try to, you know what I'm saying, continue their whole Trump is a liar campaign. But it kind of backfired because, like, for real, for a minute there, y'all thought Joe was gonna kill over. I ain't even gonna lie. Like when he was talking and he stopped mid sentence, I was like, oh hell, somebody need to see about Joe. This ain't good look. You remember that, don't you, Derek?
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I was just thinking, they're not really pressing the issue that this guy has so many convictions. Like they used to talk about he is a convicted felon, but they fail to talk about he's never spent a day in jail. He never will.
He's really not, because first of all, the whole thing gonna get overturned because it was really invalid conviction. But every time they start talking about that, you know what I'm saying, his campaign seemed to earn another $34 million. So yeah, I would be quiet too.
Yeah, they shut up real quick. I never thought that I would vote for Trump, but I am.
Why?
Why? Number one is the illegal aliens that are posted up in New York, Chicago, and maybe Detroit. They get all this money, just basically money. To me, that's personal.
Okay.
Because that's what it happened to me. I'm a man who got sick, went on disability. Long story short, Death Note mentioned something about not oversharing, so I'm not going to share, the whole story. Okay. But got sick, needed help. Now I've been working since I was 14. I lost my job. I was homeless. I was sleeping in the car, trying to work wherever I could.
Okay.
But I went to my government. Just to file disability, you need to be unemployed for a whole year.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people don't know that. See, back in the 80s and 90s, they had these, you could get SSI, real quick. But since all the scams and everything, they changed the laws. So they really make it hard for you. You either have to work, they tell you you'll have to work so many hours a week, like basically part-time hours. But if you got full-time responsibility, that's not going to work.
Exactly.
Because I had that phone call with them people. They told me I had a full-time job then. I was taking care of everything I need to do. They said, well, Mr. Gaines, you're going to have to quit or go part-time. I said, this is not a part-time. And the lady said to me on the phone, well, you'll have to quit. I said, is this check in the mail? Because you're making me choose because of my health, whether I got responsibilities. I got a daughter. I got everything that I need to take care of. And you asking me either to quit a full-time union paying job, I might add, just to get help. Just to get help. I have to either go part-time or quit. And I said, well, this is not a part-time job. And if the check is not in the mail, I'm not quitting. But yet we get all these illegal immigrants to get thousands of dollars of everything. If you really look at it, they get a lot of money. They get posted up for free. They get free food stamps. They get walking around money. Are you serious? And I had to jump through hoops just to get a fraction of what I made throughout my working career since 14. A fraction. Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
Okay. So it's a question posed to you in the chat by Omega Son's Life saying, are you okay with not having to vote anymore after him? He said this will be the last election.
No. This would not be the last election. But again, there was a TV show named uh, there was a TV show about this with Kiefer Sutherland, the dude from 24.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, he became like president of the United States, and there was a civil war, and then everything. I kind of lost interest, but art always imitate life. Maybe they know something we don't know. I don't know. But as far as the Constitution stands, we're supposed to have a local government voted in. Then we have the state level or federal. Then we have the executive branch, which is the president. That's engraved in the Constitution. That's what we got to have. I don't think we'll lose elections or what's going on now, but I think it'd be drastically different from what it is now. Because right now they get the access. Right now they got the access of the internet. But can you imagine they have direct access to your subconscious? Like, why do you go to McDonald's? Or why do you go to Burger King? Can you imagine they have direct? You can't laugh and say, "Nah, that's not true." But
They're working on it.
I mean, we got private companies all of a sudden going into space where NASA used to dominate in the 80s and 90s with the space shuttle.
True.
NASA used to dominate. They used to be on every channel, the launch of the space shuttle on every channel, but all of a sudden you don't even hear about NASA now. Are we concerned about what is a woman? That's crazy.
Okay, so let me ask you this, and then we gotta get back to it. Which
Yeah.
do you think is more impactful, local elections or the presidential election?
Local elections.
Why?
Local one, it defines redlining. If you don't know what redlining is, please look it up. If you don't know what redlining is, that means you're not paying attention. Redlining redlining determines which community get money and which community get aid. They classify a difference. Don't believe me? Look it up. That's what I say. Local elections determine what streets get help, what neighborhoods in the city gets help. You always have a person controlling sanitation, road maintenance, and stuff like that. And then you get the legislation level, which is Congress. You gotta vote for Congress because these the people that make the laws. As the Constitution stands, the president doesn't make laws. Did you know? A lot of people don't know that it's the Congress that declares war. Congress is the most powerful branch of the government. They can even overrule the Supreme Court if they wanted to. If they vote and it's successful, they wanted to. But a lot of people don't pay attention. A lot of people don't read. A lot of our generation don't read, and that's why we're falling behind in everything. We don't read.
Okay, sure. Y'all got your homework assignment from Mr. Gaines. Let me see. Cuba Lou says, who is currently the president? How would Trump make it to end all elections? Was he a dictator the first time around? If that's where you're going with it, dictators don't hold primaries. Sound familiar?
Dictators do not hold primary. There are absolute power within that country.
That's the point. That's the point they're making. They're responding to something else that was in the chat. I just thought that was funny.
I don't think Trump's a dictator. I don't even think he's a ultra quote unquote conservative. I think some of Trump's views. God, I don't even think I should be saying this out loud. Some of Trump's views I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. And I couldn't agree with him more if he was running for a second term, like he got voted in for the second time, and I'm listening to him like, I don't know, dude, shaky. He said grab him by the pussy. He said that I could shoot
I don't
somebody
know
and
why
get
that
away
shit
with
bothered
it.
people. It was hilarious to me.
I think he's funny.
They'll let you grab them by the. I don't know why I don't know why y'all. It was women who was guilty of that. Who you know what I'm saying been getting grabbed by the pussy. Who was mad about that?
Man, you know,
I
all of
wasn't
a
mad about it.
sudden,
It was funny to me because I done been grabbed 4-5 times. Ain't
huh?
bothering me. Shit.
Well, that opens up the door for another conversation. Oh my goodness.
That shit was real. That was real damn talk right there.
Oh man. You don't tell somebody. I should say you shouldn't tell me, especially when I've been inebriated. Something like that, I might respond saying, "So how was it?"
Calm down.
That's what I would respond. So how was it? But
Listen,
people don't like Trump because he's saying everything. Dave Chappelle said this when he did stand up on Saturday Night Live. He talked about how Trump is telling everything that go on back there. He's coming out and say, "Yo, this is what they put in the Kentucky Fried Chicken for real. This is the measurements." He coming out and telling trade secrets. Yeah, I mean, Hillary Clinton said Trump don't pay his taxes. He said, "Because I'm smart."
Right. I don't have to.
I don't have to. According to the laws you and your friends benefit from. When he said that, I was like, it's the lesser of two evils. I don't know who to listen to. When he put her on Front Street, man, Trump is more. I think the Trump we see now, I think he's in makeup. Like this is the best either CGI makeup it is. I think Trump is a black man. I really do. I really do. Look how he say things. He could be condescending at times, but he has dry humor. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. I think Trump is black. Yep.
Okay. All right. What do you think about the world coming to an end in 10 years? Because all this nuclear war threats.
Well, if you listen to what goes on in the Bible, if you read the book of Revelation and everything, I think Daniel talks about it. The book of Revelation really talk about it. Who knows when the end of days comes? Are you ready? I don't know. I can't. I sound like Trump. I can't speak for them. I don't know, but I can't. And the world will not end in 7 days or 10 years. I'm sorry. What he's talking about? It could be some kind of financial crisis. Maybe he's hitting around with something. Maybe he's saying something. I don't know if he's being prophetic, but nah, the world won't. Be careful of the people who gives a time limit on the world will end. The world been ending since the Cuban Missile Crisis, but yet we're still here.
True.
If you look at what they talk about nuclear war and nuclear this and nuclear that, I don't think
Wait a minute. Who got multiple baby mamas?
Trump.
No, Trump got ex-wives.
That's true.
How many baby mamas? He got ex-wives.
That's true. But that is true at the same time. He do get ex-baby mamas.
Who got ex-wives?
All right, look. If me and you get married, we have a kid, we break up. I tell my homies, yo, that's my baby mama. You tell your
that's disrespectful to somebody who did things correctly. Whether your marriage break up or not, if you have them children within the guise of being married, you never be a baby mama or a baby daddy.
It depends who you talking to.
We need to get that shit straight.
Hey, it's all about teaching. If you teach from from the
That's what I'm
time that yeah, it's all about why did
That's
we
what I'm
give our
saying.
kids cell phones when they first to back in the day we used to give them keys, car keys. Remember that we used to give them car
You gonna play
keys.
with, yeah. Old car
Yeah,
keys.
yeah. Now we give them cell phones. What's next?
Well, see
What's next?
that's the parenting. Because if I had kids, you'd be getting no damn cell phone. You don't
Let me
need
tell
it.
you something. My daughter's niece was over here. She's about let's say she on the one. And she was fussing and whatever kids do. I don't know. It's been a long time for me. And I gave her my cell phone. Why is she bright? Why like she looked like she could operate a cell phone. She ain't even old enough to walk yet.
That's a
What's
problem.
what's
That's a
next?
problem. That's a problem, and that's gonna stunt her cognitive growth. They've done studies on that. When you get them kids some tablets and some cell phones and all of that real early in life,
Right.
it impairs them cognitively. Get that, take that from
But
them.
it's like back in the day they used to sit us in front of the TV and watch Sesame Street. That's
See, I
back
didn't
in the
realize.
day.
Well,
I
yeah, I
mean,
didn't
these
really watch that.
Sesame Street we can learn from. Sesame Street and Electric Company. Shout out to Morgan Freeman. He played
You better not
Spider
turn that
Man.
damn
So
Sesame Street on today. That shit.
I watched an episode of Sesame Street. Why they were doing True Blood.
Yeah,
An episode of I was like, well, hold up, man. We back in the day at Sesame Street, we had
Sesame Street
Prince.
been messed up.
Right.
Bert and Ernie be kissing. Damn,
Yeah,
Oscar.
I heard of that. Bert and Ernie are no longer roommates. They
Yeah, they be on there
roommates.
kissing and shit. Um,
Are you kidding
Big
me?
Bird, Big Bird just straight gay. Um,
Women,
damn, the Grouch is non. What's that? Non-binary. He don't identify as nothing.
either
Like
two things are wrong here. Either
hell no.
Sesame Street is messed up, or you spending too much time watching Sesame Street.
Sesame Street is messed up.
Get out of here.
Sesame Street ain't our Sesame Street no more.
Back in the day when I was in see, I'll be 55 this year. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
Snuffleupagus. Yeah, he what the hell was wrong with him?
So but
Um,
Snuffleupagus was suspect back in the day. If
he
you
was.
look at his
I'm trying to
eyelashes,
remember what they did to him now. Uh, shit.
well, if he's Big Bird best friend, I don't know. He is suspect.
Listen, keep Sesame Street away from your kids.
Hey, be careful of a 7 foot dude that has feathers everywhere.
Hey, Prime.
Oh my god, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. But see, it's what's going on now. They they want to try to include
Y'all
everybody.
better watch them
Why?
old episodes of Fraggle Rock and quit playing. Turn that on.
Stop. Stop. Tell them to watch the Dark Crystal and see what happened. They will be. Oh my god. See, the thing is, they try to include everybody now, but they didn't try to especially include black people back in the day because black people at the heart has has created every musical genre there is.
Yeah.
We created that. We created that. That's crazy how we don't how we don't know our own history, but they don't even know really American history. I challenge somebody in 10 seconds to tell me what Six Flags amusement park really means.
Child. I don't know, but hold on, we got to get through this because
All right, let's do it.
yeah, we got to get to the live town hall. But let's see.
They started looking, but they picked a woman that had absolutely no votes. She got no votes, and now she's running. So when you say threat to democracy, they are a threat to democracy. I'm not a threat
I have
to
to agree with
democracy.
that.
I'm not a threat. Thank you.
Mr. President, crime and the rise of crime is on the minds of a lot of people. I want to call on Danielle here, who has a question for you.
Hi, Daniel. Well, you need, yeah, and you get a lot of those questions from Minnesota, but you get a lot of those questions because Minnesota, I mean, they picked this guy. He is weird. Right? He's weird. I'm not weird. He's weird. No, he's a weird guy. He's a weird dude. You know, see, they come up with sound bites. They always have sound bites. And one of the things is that JD and I are weird. That guy is so straight. JD is he's doing a great job. Smart. Top student. Great guy. And he's not weird, and I'm not weird. I mean, we're a lot of things. We're not weird, I will tell you. But that guy is weird, don't you think? You know, he signed for, and this is, who would think that this is even happening in our country with men playing in women's sports and all of this, but he has it at a level that nobody can believe. A bill that every boy's bathroom will have tampons, okay? Hence his name, Tampon Tim. But think of it. Think of it. And you know, on the question of abortion, he is the one. Abortion in the 9th month. And if the baby in Minnesota, and I'd love to win Minnesota because those people aren't digging this guy. They're not digging this guy. But think of this. 6 states, Minnesota is one of them. If the baby is born, you're allowed to execute the baby.
Ain't that the truth, Jay LeBron? He stay out here talking to these people in real time.
And you remember the former governor, not the current governor, who's terrific, Glenn Youngkin. We're going to win maybe Virginia. We could do that. But the former governor, and he said, you sit the mother down and the father down. You sit them down and you talk. And the baby is born and you make a decision what to do. He meant, do you execute the baby after birth? And according to
this thing right here, I mean, you delivered the baby. Why you got? Why can't the baby live?
Execute the baby after birth, and this guy is a participant, and that's why she picked him, because she is, in fact, a Marxist/communist. Remember, I'd say all the time, our country will never be socialist, right? We will not have a socialist. Well, I was right. We skipped socialism. We went to communism. This woman has to be stopped.
Mr. President, we have time for one final question. I don't know if we can get a mic to Bernardo. He's got an important question, given very soon we will be honoring the anniversary of September 11th and all of the lives that were lost on that tragic day and that tragic attack where we were attacked by radical Islamist terrorists. And Bernardo wanted to share his thoughts and had a question for you on this.
Mr. President, my name is Bernardo. I'm a voter here in Wisconsin, live in the wonderful La Crosse County here. And I'm also a father of 8. I have 7 here with me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Prime, this is the one from last night.
And it's the anniversary of 9/11 is coming up. I'm concerned that we're more vulnerable now than ever. And we have a Democrat nominee who doesn't even want to say the words, says we shouldn't say the words, radical Islamic terror. How are we going to protect America from a terrorist attack?
First of all, it's a great question. And, you know, we have radical Islamists pouring into our country along with everybody else right now. They're coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We kept them out. We had 1 year where Border Patrol put down, it was, I believe, 2019, where they, and I don't believe this, I don't believe it's right, but I'll take it. They said 0 came in 20, that was my term, 0. Now we have thousands. I'd like to say that was true. It's probably not, because I can't imagine that, but we were very tough on that. Now they have thousands and thousands coming in, along with the prisoners and along with the crime. And remember, a lot of these countries like Venezuela, their crime is way down because they've moved their criminals into our country. It's not even believable. But your question on Islamists and all of the jihad and all of the things that they talk about, they have to respect your country. They have to respect your leader. You know, I had no
I've heard that as well,
Islam crime for 4 years, and I didn't want to talk about it.
And Anton Daniel said that.
I talked about it after, but I didn't want to talk about it during. I don't want to say like I had absolutely, and the next day you get hit. But we had none 4
Oh,
years
really?
because they respected the president. They
When's the next one in my area?
bring back that level
Go
of
to the
respect,
website, take a
and
look.
we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And we're not letting the wrong people
Will you
into
be
our
there?
country. Okay, thank you very much. Great question.
Maybe, maybe not.
Thank you, Mr.
All right.
President. I know you
Yes,
have
that's a good one.
run out of time here, but thank you for having this conversation with the people of Wisconsin and people across the country who are watching and concerned about these very same issues. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you
everyone,
much.
for being here.
Thank you, everybody. Vote. Vote. Thank you, everybody.
Y'all vote. All right.
Oh, they
You wanna
still
bring, like,
having
It's black women there. It's one right there up on the stage, Prime. It's black women there. Trust me, it be black women there.
are they having mail-in votes?
I mean, I don't think our early voting has started yet. You have to check your state to see.
I think ours has started, but I have to check. He's hitting on all cylinders when it comes to a lot of issues, the military, the illegals, the people, Social Security. I done watched every day, just about on the DNC, and they weren't even close to this. But I don't agree with him on posing taxes on China when we owe China billions of dollars. We owe China billions. So what are we gonna do? Well, I could see that. I could see that meeting. You just put them towards what you owe us. So basically, they ain't gonna charge China anything. It's crazy. It is. It's crazy. I don't agree with him on that. I do agree with him on a lot of other stuff.
Okay. Okay.
There's music in the background, so if you can hear it, let me know so I can mute my mic. It is Friday night.
Yeah,
Somebody just get paid.
I don't hear it. You okay?
But I will vote. Unfortunately, I will vote for Trump. And when he was running before, I was voting along party lines. I said, well, I voted for Clinton. I might as well vote for Obama. There are a lot of people that were flocking to the polls to vote just because he was black. That's it. They didn't know none of his issues, nothing that he stand for. He was just a black man running for president, and he was more popular than Jesse Jackson.
Mm-hmm. He ain't even black, but anyway.
Right. So he got in. I was hoping he would do something for black, but he's never, from what I understand, I look at it, he had hardships when he was little, but he seemed to grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. Yeah, he probably had a heart.
Well, he was raised by the white side of his family, so
bet you he didn't miss a meal.
In Hawaii.
Bet you he didn't eat a can of Vienna sausage. I bet you he didn't eat no potted meat.
But hell, I ain't eat potted meat, so
I ain't gonna lie, I did. That's so good on purpose, girl. Don't skip the black meals. It's a struggle meal. We've been eating struggle meals all our life.
We
Huh?
didn't go that route.
It went that way. Let's see.
Okay, we said, what's the significance of the Six Flags theme parks?
Six Flags, the theme park, is named after the Six Flags that flew over the state or territory of Texas. Back then, Six Flags represent a country. So you had the colonial colonies, you had Europe, you had uh, France, Mexico, and I do believe England. They represent the Six Flags over that flies over the amusement park that is centered, meaning their headquarters is in Texas. That's
Okay.
why they call it Six Flags. Read about it. Don't. I'm just an old man, like my parody to my brother Theo Poop and Do Better Squad. I'm just an old man on YouTube looking at a young
Okay.
vivacious harmonize. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear music, because I hear music. Y'all
No,
let me know.
we don't hear it.
All right. Yeah, but that's the thing with Six Flags. A lot of people just don't read or even watch the 2-minute information YouTube videos that are out there. It's gone from going to the Dewey Decimal System and learning about the legislature, the executive, and the judicial branch of government. Supreme Court is not the last law of the land per se. It is Congress. A lot of people don't know. Trump gonna win. Trump gonna win. I would vote for Trump twice if I could.
Oh, shit. Wait a minute.
He's hitting on all cylinders, Armanaz. How can you not?
Okay.
If you're in you I said to Drew Titan, I don't even know if I'm gonna vote this year. Am I voting because at one time this country stopped us from voting? This is where you get that you had to memorize the preamble of the Constitution, and a lot of people don't know what the preamble is, and they've seen it all their life. They had laws like that. They had to pay a poll tax and stuff like that. So am I voting for the past? Am I voting for now? Or am I voting for the future? When Trump come out and talk about the things that he's going to change that resonate with me, I was all on board. It wasn't just the illegals. It was the Social Security. It was things that I have fought for personally throughout my trials and convictions throughout my life. To see another person just get it at a whim, that doesn't sit pretty. Do I hate the person? No. I hate the system that allowed it to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Trump going. I'm gonna get me a mega hat. Can you see me in a mega hat, Armanaz?
Yeah.
I would do it too. I am going to do it. I'm gonna say that I am. But what do you think? Because Camilla is really not campaigning.
She's really not. And the only reason she's doing what Biden did, but the only reason that worked for him was because you know what I'm saying, he used C-19. Well, we don't have C-19 no more, and we see what he did, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of C-19. Additionally, essentially what he did was you know what I'm saying, because when he took office, inflation was what, 1.3?
I believe you tell me.
Yeah, inflation was 1.3, and because they were actually talk about this morning on the Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniel. Shout out to Anton and the Bag Chasers. And you know, even though we were in the pandemic, and you know what I'm saying, that was uncharted territory. Anybody, ain't none of us never been through none of that. nothing like that in our lifetime. We, you know what I'm saying, had found an alternate way to exist. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You know what I'm saying? People started being able to work from home and you know what I'm saying?
right.
You could order, you know what I'm saying, order whatever you needed, you know what I'm saying? You found ways to do
Right.
what you need to do. So I mean, essentially, you know what I'm saying, the world didn't stop, like, you know what I'm saying, Biden didn't want to try to convince you that it did. What happened was, you know what I'm saying, the states got involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Joe took office, you know what I'm saying, to try to appease the states, he, you know what I'm saying, let them continue on with the foolishness. Then he added on the jab mandate. That's what the problem really was.
Mm-hmm.
People refused to get the jab, so that's when they started losing their jobs. They didn't lose their jobs way back in the beginning of C-19. They lost their jobs at the end. Is what happened. That's what happened to your supply chain that still hasn't recovered. That's what happened. That's, you know what I'm saying. That's why, you know what I'm saying, when you know, go to doctor's offices and fast food, your drive-throughs and all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying, your weight is astronomical. That's because, you know what I'm saying, those industries have not recovered because of that jab mandate. Let's just be honest.
I'm a
And
have to
so
look
at this
that up.
point, Kamala, she don't have that fear factor to run on. She don't have that. So you're gonna have to come out here and talk and tell me about what you want to do. But when they come out and talk, you'll say you weren't there for the interview. And I mean, honestly, you really didn't miss anything. I promise you didn't. She was on there talking like Donald Trump president right now. Like all this stuff that's happened over the last 3.5 years, he did. You in office, not him. You in office, not him. But that's the way the two of them was on there. Like she ain't been nowhere near the White House.
He ran on the. I think he ran on the. Even though Obama wasn't president anymore, he did the same thing Obama did. I think when they ran, that we had 9/11, second Bush, and then correct me on my history. The second Bush was reelected after that. Then we had then we had Obama. And Obama came in as a great recession. A lot of banks were talking.
He was supposed to be the great black hope, and then he didn't do any, he did. Honestly, if we're gonna be honest, we can't just say that he didn't do anything for black people. He didn't do anything for anybody who wasn't rainbow. So he didn't do nothing for regular black people.
No. I take that back.
He do.
And see, I'm a conspiracy theorist. You remember when the so-called plumber was getting beef? He was trending. He was talking about Obama.
Oh yeah, and come to find out wasn't none of that true. Yeah.
Right. Come to find out when none of that true, and dude get invited to the White House to have a beer with the president and the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't. You're right about him only doing anything for the rainbow people. You're right. What was it? It was Ellen receiving the Kennedy Awards thing.
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres. Mm-hmm.
And Obama gave it to her.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
You know why?
Yeah, because they're a huge voting bloc.
They really, but you know what? They really not. If you in numbers, they really not.
I wonder. See, this is. I'm gonna put this question out there. They say that. I shouldn't say that. I'll mention it to you off the air. I shouldn't say that. I have to think
for me, you know what I'm saying, especially with this, you know what I'm saying, election go round, it's just looking to me like the Democratic Party is the party of fucking demons. If you also
the Democratic Party,
you into total destruction and being completely out of order, you know what I'm saying, then yeah, you want to be down with the Democratic Party. They don't want to hear about nothing that's in no kind of biological order. They don't want to hear about it.
the Democratic Party has become. People need to look up the history of the Democratic Party. Just look it up. You'd be surprised that the Democratic Party were the Southern plantation owners who were into
It was
slavery.
right to keep your black ass on the plantation working for them for
Same
free.
principle. Same principle they got now. But now they're pushing the women. I have control of my reproduction
You
organs.
as a woman, let me tell you something. As a 46-year-old woman, I have always had control over my reproductive system. It don't do nothing out of what it's supposed to do if I don't tell it to do.
Can you imagine if a guy took that stance? Can you imagine if a guy just said,
I mean, what you fight again, you fighting to have blood
mm,
on your hands because you out here
mhm,
out of order. You fighting to be on some demon time. That's what the hell y'all fight for, because you don't know, you don't have to get, you don't have, first off, you ain't got to get pregnant.
nope,
You
I
ain't got
was
to,
telling
that
you,
is not something you have to do. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. You don't have to get pregnant. So if you know what I'm saying, realize that you don't have to get pregnant and take some measures to not get pregnant, guess what? You ain't gonna be pregnant. Therefore, you don't need to go to the clinic. So therefore, all these so-called reproductive rights don't mean nothing to you because you don't need
why all of abortion clinics in the hood?
it.
Just
You
like
know why?
basically we had first all the liquor stores. Why is it that there wasn't a drug problem in America until it affected the white community? Look up your history, people, before you vote. Look up your history. It's crazy how they done us. And I'm always for a positive change. But now I'm looking at this is
Exactly. Make it, but that's the thing. They don't want to make no choices before. They just want to do what they want to do, and then want to be able to run to the clinic to cover it up.
and the government to pay for it. The
Yeah,
government to pay for it. That's crazy. Even hold on. Kamala's a fake. Even the stuff that
And
unfortunately
she ain't
they
even
have.
got no kids, so I'm just trying to understand why she all
This is
invested
all
in
about money.
it. I'm telling
It's
you,
all about money. Abortion makes. I'm sorry.
it make a
Deletion
lot of
makes
money. It
money.
make a lot of
A
money.
lot of money. It makes more money than they give out. Margaret Swinger started abortion, and she paid Swinger paid black women to abort their fetuses. Look up the Kissinger letters. People learn to read, take up issues that you're not interested in because it still comes back around to affect you. Read the Kissinger letters. Read about this documentaries you can watch on Margaret Swinger and how the abortion got started in the 40s while they were employing doctors. And I said it. Send your hate mail to Derek Gaines, spell it right, DEREKGINES, number 22 at gmail.com. Margaret Swinger employed Nazi Germany doctors.
Okay, calm down. Now we ain't trying to get demonetized.
Oh, okay. Allegedly. I'm just saying, people look up the history before you vote. Look up what affects your local government. Look that up. Look up redlining. Look that up.
Them facts though. Them facts end times. Facts.
Can you hear the music in the background?
Nope, but I must have end the stream because they the other roundtable gonna start in a few minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and end this stream. We'll be back in a few. So y'all make sure you got your notifications on. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for stopping by. I'll see y'all for live coverage of the Mounds of Liberty town hall with Donald Trump in about 10-15 minutes. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all in a few.